Today we are making a sign inspired by this rather old sign. This hung in my parents' garden when I was a kid. It says garden tours, 5 cents. And I remember exactly where it was. It was on this old stump that was kind of rotting away and actually looked very much like the sign looks right now. My dad gave it to me when I moved into this house, and it was in my garden since then, but unfortunately it's getting a little rough, and the nail hole, it just kept falling down. So I decided to use it as an inspiration for a new sign. And I'm not going to get rid of this. I might try and fix it up a little bit. We'll see. So we are going to start with an 11 by 14 board, which I got from AC Moore. You can probably find them at any other craft store. This one's 11 by 14. They're rather affordable. So no worries there. I'm going to start by staining it because I want a distressed look. So I'm going to darken up the wood a bit. Then I'm going to paint it with DIY White Swan.
Also, don't ever eat too many bananas, or you might turn into a monkey.
Yes, don't eat too many bananas or you might turn into a monkey. Solid advice.
Or you might make everything yellow with your hands.
Or that. Okay, so that's how we're going to get started. And then we're going to use actually a couple of products to finish it out. So we'll get to that later. Right now I'm going to start with staining my wood. This is Folk Art Home Decor Wood Tint. So it's not even like a real stain, but for our purposes it works. So what I'm going to do, because I didn't think about the size of my foam paintbrush, I'm just going to pour some into the wood, into the lid. I have wood on the green. Okay, there we go. All right, so we're just going to dip that in. If you're worried about how I have my craft stuff on my kitchen stove, I have it turned off, so don't worry. I did think about that. Okay, so really we're just going to do the edges. I'm not even going to do the middle of this board because I'm only going to distress the edges. And if I don't get every little nook and cranny, it's no big deal. This dries super duper quickly. And in fact, I don't even care if it's not fully dry before I put the white on. It's just going to further add to that aged look that I'm going for.
Banana make you fail.
Bananas do fill you up. I agree. I don't eat bananas often.
It's just one little banana. That's crazy.
Okay. Third side. So this part goes fairly quickly.
Yep, it is hard. The wood is hard and rough.
It is rough, yes.
You can kind of see the letters, not really.
Yeah, they're all faded away. I don't know how old the sign actually is. I just know it was there when I was young. So it is at least, I'm going to say
50 years old.
50. I'm not even 50 years old yet. Hey.
No, I mean the sign.
The sign. No, I don't think it's that old. So I've just done the corners here. I'm going to just get a little bit of this part. It's maybe like 35 years old.
Mama, this way like...
Yeah, don't pull in it though. Let's see if we can keep it intact.
And the beam at the big day.
A bee? That's where it used to hang on a nail in the garden.
Oh. Keep on falling off.
Yeah, it did last year. So then I had it propped up and...
Just like sit there.
Yeah. Okay, so this part is done. I didn't worry about doing the middle, really just the edges. And it doesn't take long to dry at all.
So we can just wait.
It's probably going to be a mess.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, it would blend. Like a dot coming on the floor, it would blend in. It would.
Okay, so I'm going to take this rag and I'm just going to wipe back the excess of the stain, or wood tint rather. Just get any parts that have a little too much.
Mm.
Okay.
I'm so tired.
You're tired.
It's because I don't like getting up early. I wanted to sleep in.
Alright, so the wood tint is on. I wiped back the excess with a towel. And now I'm going to take my DIY paint and put a coat on. I poured it out into a container because the stain isn't exactly dry, so I didn't want to contaminate my paint can with the stain. So this will go in fairly quickly. And I just tend to use a foam paintbrush on my signs. And actually a lot of things. They're just easy to use. Easy to clean too. I usually use them several times actually. On, let them dry a bit, and then I wet distress the outside corners and a little on the inside here. So all I did is I dampened this rag and just went like this along the edges. It's super simple, and it works because this is a water-based paint, the DIY. You could also use sandpaper, but if you're doing a project inside like I am, it's really nice not to have to sand and make a big huge mess. So that's what we did. I think it turned out pretty nicely. I'm not sure if you can see on camera. There's a bit of distressing. I didn't do too much. You can see the corners there. So now we get to the super fun part. My assistant decided that she was tired, so she is in the living room. She actually was playing drums. So apparently when you're 5 and you're tired, you play drums. Interesting. So the next part that we're going to do, actually over there, sorry, is use the IOD stamps. Now I used these in my last project, if you saw that. So it's Iron Orchid Designs, and they're reusable stamps, and I love them. So I may use some of these as well. So this stamp I put on the stamp pad, comes like this. So I just squirt it on, take a popsicle stick and just smooth it out. And then you have your brayer, so you roll that on the ink, roll it on your stamps, and then place it on your sign. So if you remember from my old sign that said garden tours 5 cents, so I am reusing that wording. The stamps come on these plastic pieces, and I used that to position my letters. And just remember, you have to put them on backwards, because obviously when you turn it over, it's going to read correctly, but when you place them on your board, you have to do it backwards. So I already went and placed those because I didn't know how long it would take me, and I didn't think you'd want to sit there and watch me play around. So they're pretty straight, and once I put the ink on, I think I'm going to do about right there. And then I'm going to have to paint on the scent. Oops. All right. I'm a little nervous, so hopefully this goes well. All right, so I've got some ink on here, and we're just going to roll it across the letters. You can use paint as well, and it'll just be not as crisp from what I hear. I actually haven't tried it yet. I've always just used the ink. So, oh, there's my assistant. Hello, assistant.
I'm putting a new slack bag.
Oh, thanks.
My little slack bag.
She made herself a trash can out of a cardboard box. Reduce, reuse, recycle. I do want to mention, when I poured out the paint for my sign, I poured out way too much. And since I hate to waste, I grabbed something I found actually at the thrift store for like, I think $1.50 and painted that. So that's in the back and it's actually gonna go on my patio. All right, so here's the tricky part. My letters look kind of funny. All right, so about right here, don't bump me, Nina. Tricky business here. And just set them down gently. And then you're just gonna tap, tap, tap.
I tap a letter.
Tap gently, don't shift it. You can try. Do those. Just tap, tap, tap. Good. Get the G here.
I'm excited.
You're excited? Do, do, do. I always double check my letters. I have a habit, especially like lowercase b and d. I get them backwards. When I'm trying to not do them backwards, because it's in reverse, then I really get them backwards. It's terribly confusing. All right, we're gonna do the big reveal. See how it worked out.
Then slide.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah.
Then slide. Rolling about.
Okie dokie.
Yes, kingdom.
So the R and the S didn't turn out super great, so I'm going to show you what I can do to fix that. And I'm going to pull it off. Going to put a little more ink on it. And then I'm going to very carefully line it up and place it down again. Ooh, this is nerve-wracking. There, I think we did all right.
Wait, is that a lowercase s?
This is a lowercase r, the next one. Perfect, okay. 1, 2, that's your S.
S got messed up too.
Yeah, it's all right. Actually, it's not that bad.
This is slash.
It gives it a distress, yeah it does. That's one of her favorite words these days. Imagine that. There.
I'm having my last piece of candy.
Okay. I ration my kids' candies, so we still have Easter candy. Okay, so we fixed it up. There it is. Oops. So I will come back in with a paintbrush and do a scent sign, but before that, I'm going to put some flowers around the edges, I believe. So I'll sit this back here. I'm going to wipe up the ink I accidentally got on the counter. There we go. Alright, so I'm going to pull these out. Oh, there's the paintbrush. I knew I had gotten a paintbrush out, and then I couldn't find it. It was in between them. Alright. Now I have used these before, so I didn't have to do it. When your stamps are new, you have to take a light sanding block or sandpaper and just scuff them up to give the paint something to hold on to. But I have used these before, so I didn't have to do that this time around. So these, I think, I'm just gonna kind of go like right here, or I could just go like this. Nah. No, I think it's gonna, yeah, let's just go like that. I'm just gonna wing it, see how it turns out. You can use this ink on fabric as well. I haven't tried it yet myself. Alright. Just gonna kind of flop it.
Mama.
Yeah.
I have one of the best pieces. Okay, like the best, you know those chocolate bars and it kind of peanut butter inside.
Reese's Pieces cup?
The
Or the eggs? Good stuff.
No, I mean like the slate things. Let me just show you.
Okay, just show me.
I have another.
Crafting with candy. Oh, a Kit Kat. Yes, those are a definite favorite as well. Trying to avoid the candy, but...
Life-changing, actually.
Did you say life-changing?
Yes.
So funny. She makes me laugh, that one. Go. how it is so far. I'm gonna pause the video for a second. I need to grab some paint so I can paint on the scent sign. Alright, so I painted on the scent sign, and once it dried a little bit, I took some sandpaper and just roughed it up a little bit so it blended better with this distressed looking letters. And now we are going to switch to Chalk Couture. I'll put the link below on where you can buy all the products. We are going to be using the B part, and I think I might use this symbol too. So they come like this. These are reusable as well.
How about some butterflies?
I don't have any butterflies, but those would be nice. When
But actually, Mom, I think we can put something into a butterfly.
You probably could. Maybe we'll do that on
Something
another
kind
product.
of look like a butterfly. That.
Yeah, maybe. So the instructions are on the back of the packet, so it's really user friendly. So when you first get them, you have to cut them up. Simple. And then you have to fuzz them. And what that means is you just put some fuzz on the back so that it doesn't stick to your surface. Now we're kind of gambling here because Chalk Couture has their own surfaces which they recommend, and these, I've never had one stick to it. When you're doing an off-label kind of project, you're taking a chance. So what I'm going to try to do is only push down on the stencil like right around the B. So we'll see how that works out. And I'm going to be using this color, which is actually marigold. When you open your paste, you just have to stir it up.
I thought it called peach orange.
Peach orange? Well, we can call it that if you want. So it's on a backer, and actually let me grab a marker. What you didn't see is I just tripped on a stool when I was coming back. I also like to mark the back of each backing, so you know which side to put it back on. I just put a line. Real simple. Okay, so we did that. What did I say? We'll start with this one. So we're gambling here. Fingers crossed that it turns out. So first I'm going to take, this is just a bath towel. Chalk Couture actually has their own little fuzzing pad. They are out of stock right now. So luckily,
I want to do that too.
Okay, luckily this works out just fine.
Where am I salt?
I don't know. So when you pull, you don't want to rip from the diagonal. That can stress your transfer, so you're going to pull from the side. I didn't do it, you did it.
No, I didn't put my soul in the living room.
Excuse us while we argue about a stool. Okay, you're going to do it again. So I'm going to do this a few times. This one seems extra sticky. Go figure, because I'm trying to use it on something that we shouldn't use it on. Necessarily. Alright, fuzz it one more time.
What?
Remember to pull from the side. Okay, hopefully this works. I'm gonna like perch him kind of right here and just rubbing around this little section.
So B stays on.
Yeah. So they have smaller ones. I only have this size, I think. I'm just gonna put out a wee little smidgen on the corner. Like that's even probably too much. And you're just gonna wipe it.
It was crooked.
Oh no, we will have to fix that. And you're just gonna pull straight across. The excess you can put right back in your pot.
Because this side is tighter, that side is looser.
All right, let's hope it doesn't stick. And we'll see.
Yay!
Perfect, love it. Okay, I'm gonna show you, and then I'm gonna do some more bees.
Mama, I want that bee to be turned into butterflies.
So there we are. I think it looks good. I'm gonna put a few more on just for color. And then you're just gonna take these when you're done and put them in warm water and rinse them off. Let's see, where do we want this little guy? Maybe right here. So pat, 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 pat.
Pat, 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 pat.
I love that these are reusable. Anything that is reusable is better in my book. I do have some stencils that you can only use one time, and it seems like such a waste. Okay.
Mom need to copy this, kind of.
Use it as inspiration. Another cute little bee. Totally love it. I'm going to put one like, perched on one of the letters, like
Well,
right there.
the painting on this is still starting to stay on. It's so slow.
Yeah, I don't know what whoever painted it did it with, but I mean that lasted for so long. It was outside. It's not like it was even protected.
Nope.
So it's rather impressive. That
Yep.
little sign.
We're gonna paint this part.
Oh, that looks so cute. I put the B sitting on the letter E. Our sign is all done. Here we go. I will do some nice photos so you guys can see it a bit better. The only thing I'll have to do before I really put it in the garden is to put a sealer on it. I don't have one at the moment, so when I decide or find one that is suitable for outdoors, I will put a link there. So I really like how it turned out. It's got a little bit of a rusticness to it.
But also, I don't know why the seal didn't work on that fence.
It wasn't for outdoors. You have to get one that's for outdoors. So we won't do that. Nina painted a sign outside and we didn't use the right sealer, so it didn't last. But we can do it again.
Yep.
So here they are side by side. So I like it. It reminds me of the old sign, but it's not quite the same. And I did want to show you, this is not dry yet. This was my thrift store find that I used the extra paint on. I did a really like rough kind of textured paint in the middle. And then once it's dry, I'm going to do quite a bit of distressing and I'm going to bring out this design here. And this is actually going to be a decoration on my patio. So for outdoor decor, I like to use things from the thrift store because they're outside. You don't know what's going to happen to them, so you don't want to spend a lot of money. I think it was originally like $3.99 and then I got it on the half off day, so very affordable for outdoor decor. So that's a wrap for today. Thanks for joining us. If you like what you saw and you want to see more, please subscribe. We're a new channel, so we're learning as we go. And she always likes to end the videos by biting me. Not sure why.